And gentlemen, today our discussion will be a little bit different. As you all know, that on March 19th, we have lost Chuck Norris. And may I say that this is going to be the loss of Chuck Norris is a great loss. But I want to look at this loss from a different point of view. That is because what I want to discuss in this particular video is the loss of Chuck Norris and the impact on our youth culture. Now, most of you who know me, I have criticized that people worship heroes and actresses as gods and all that stuff. However, in this case, I'm going to make an exception because I understand that our youth and our young people need icons to look up to. And in my opinion, Chuck Norris was one of those icons. Because, believe it or not, Chuck Norris did have a little bit of influence on my life as well. And those of you who do know me know that my father came here from Poland in 1986, and I came to this country in 1988. Okay, but what I'm going to tell you, I have learned how to speak English by watching Chuck Norris's movies, and I also learned about America, and I also learned, the good things about America, and I learned them from Chuck Norris, and I also, I love America as a land of freedom and all those wonderful things, but I also learned from Chuck Norris the love for America, and I've kind of understood that, he actually showed me that if I work hard at something, I will be able to accomplish that. Now, this did come true for me in some degree, and that is because, let's put it this way, I wanted to achieve a college degree. A lot of people said to me, because of my disability, they said that I will never have it, that I will never achieve a college degree, but because every, a lot of people said to me that you will not have a college degree and all that, but yes, I had a great father in my life, and I had support from him, and I had support from my friends by going to college. But a lot of people in school told me that I will never achieve a college degree. However, but by watching Chuck Norris movies when I was a youth, I said, no, I'm not going to listen to what anybody else says. I'm gonna do what I have to do in order to achieve it. Now, what I'm gonna say, the passing of Chuck Norris is going to be it's going to have a great impact on our youth culture, is because the young people today will no longer have icons to look up to. I mean, and I understand that there's a lot of influencers out there nowadays with social media and all those other things, and that's okay. But there will never be another, another icon like Chuck Norris, and I think that is a great loss to the young people, because although let's face it, from what I have been reading, Chuck Norris's childhood and teenage years were not that great either. But see, the way Chuck Norris influenced me as a because yes, he was a great actor and a great martial artist. But we will discuss this in this video, sort of. But the thing is, his movies even impacted me. Even when my dad and me on every Saturday evening, we used to sit down and watch Walker Texas Ranger. When we watched Walker Texas Ranger, I said to my pop, I said to my dad that yes, this is what, and I saw a lot of his movies growing up. I've seen Missing in Action, I've seen the Delta Force, I've seen all of his, basically all of his movies, Breaker, etc. I've seen all of his movies. But when I saw him in the movie Missing in Action or the Delta Force, I told my dad, I said, this is what I want to do with my life, to be basically to go in the military and to do something good for America. And to be honest with you, yes, believe it or not, whether purposely or just in passing, that yes, even Chuck Norris had an influence on me, and a positive influence at that, because I've learned through Chuck Norris's movies themselves that if you work hard, you will achieve some things that you if you set your plans right and you work hard at it, you will achieve the things that you want to some degree. Now, my next dream would be to achieve a black belt in Taekwondo, or I would rather do Taekwondo or some other martial art. Now even Chuck Norris had influence on me by pursuing martial arts, although there aren't any schools that will take me to for martial arts training in Taekwondo and everything else. They will not take me because of my disability. That's fine, but what Chuck Norris's movies taught me, I've tried to practice some of his moves. Then I looked at books, and so I tried to learn martial arts from books, and may I say, he did have how can I put this in a nice way, that he kind of Chuck Norris's movies exposed me to the so-called variety of martial arts. And may I say also that one of my favorite movies that I used to watch with my dad was with my father. I used to watch a Chuck Norris movie called The Lone Wolf McQueen, and to be honest with you, that's one of my favorite Chuck Norris's movies. And to be honest with you, you know, and you know, and you know, and that movie showed me what those Chuck Norris's movies showed me what America is all about. That America is good, America is strong, that you can Chuck Norris's movie showed me that you can achieve anything you want in America. So, and that's what I wanted to say, that Chuck Norris, believe it or not, had the and he still will have the greatest influence on young people and youth. But the problem is with the loss of an icon like Chuck Norris, it will be the loss of Chuck Norris will be an impact on our young people, because there aren't, in my opinion, that many icons that you can look up to that are pro-American, like Chuck Norris was, that showed that you can achieve anything you put your mind to in America, and and that basically you don't but once you set your goal, then you have to go through with your goal, like in your life. So believe it or not, the loss of Chuck Norris on our youth culture, it is a great loss, because although yes, I am a critic of Hollywood and all that stuff, but in Chuck Norris's case, he did have a very positive impact on our youth culture. And the thing is, and now, because of the loss of Chuck Norris, there aren't that many influencers in Hollywood that can influence, in my opinion, our young people in a positive way, as Chuck Norris did. He influenced me in a positive way, that once I put my mind to something like getting a college degree, I could achieve it. And especially because I live in America, I could achieve that. So I could achieve a college degree, that I can achieve anything I want here in America. And that's what the influence of Chuck Norris was on me as a person with a disability. Even Chuck Norris influenced me. Even when I watched his movies, I thought to myself, "Oh well, I have a disability, but so what? I'm not going to let my disability stop me in achieving of my goals in my life, like being a book author, being a being a YouTuber, having a college degree, joining the United States Coast Guard, joining the military in some sort of way." So yes, and that's what there's going to be a great void in positive influence with the passing of Chuck Norris on our youth culture, and that's what I wanted to say in this particular video. Now, if you guys like this type of video, please subscribe, leave a comment. Leave a comment. You can subscribe to my channel. You can get in touch with me on my YouTube channel. You can get in touch with me on my Facebook and my Instagram. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you in my next one.